Welcome back to 101 Sports Webcast. I'm now joined by Rajat Agarwal and Connor Cummings to mock our NFL Top 10 draft. All right, you guys are going to be the general managers. The pressure is on you. So, Connor, let's start with you. You're the GM of the Kansas City Chiefs. Just got Andy Reid, got a new quarterback. Who you take with the first overall pick in the 2013 draft?
I'm going to have to go with Luke Joeckel, probably the best offensive tackle in the draft right now. He played phenomenally at Texas A&M, and he's going to be great on the line to protect Alex Smith.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I think he's separated himself as the clear top prospect, and like you said, Alex Smith needs some protection, so he's going to go number one.
It seems like he's been pretty much the consensus number one, but let's look at number two, Rajat, general manager of the Jaguars. You're on the clock.
I like Deion Jordan with the number 2 pick for the Jaguars. He's athletic. He can play outside linebacker or defensive end, and he has that athleticism and size at 6'6". He can really help them out.
Yeah, I agree. Deion Jordan is a great defensive player right now. Jaguars could really use that effort on defense. They have playmakers on offense with Justin Blackmon and Maurice Jones-Drew. They really need someone on defense right now.
All right, well, now things get interesting as we head to number 3, and this is where we could see teams start maybe trying to trade up, but let's pretend you're the general manager of the Oakland Raiders. Who are you taking at that 3 spot?
I'm going to have to go with probably the second offensive tackle in the draft, Eric Fisher, to defend newly got Matt Flynn.
Yeah, Eric Fisher is definitely a premier talent as well, but I think Alabama has a good prospect in their cornerback in D. Milliner. He's played at the elite level in the SEC, and I think he can help them out with his experience at that top level.
Well, this draft is very tackle heavy. A lot of offensive linemen we could see going in the potential top 10 of this draft, so we'll see how you guys end up doing it. But Rajat, now you're the general manager of the Eagles, 4 spot. Who you got?
I think the Eagles have got to go at Lutulele. You can't let him go. At one point, he was the top player in that spot of Joeckel. He fell a little bit, had some bumps at the combine.
Yeah, he had a heart problem.
Yeah, and I think he's still a great player, and people can't overlook him.
I like Lutulele, but I don't think the Eagles need him. Defensive line is not really a need for the Eagles right now. And D. Milliner is hurt, which would be another possible pick. I would have to say Lane Johnson to firm up that offensive line.
All right, well, now let's go to Detroit. So with Joeckel, Jordan, Fisher, and Lutulele off the board, let's look at Detroit. Who are you picking at number 5?
I'm going to have to go with D. Milliner.
Okay. So finally the injured cornerback comes off the board.
Yeah, he's got a shoulder problem right now, but the Lions have a good kind of front 7 right now on defense, and they need somebody just in the secondary to help with help their team right now.
Yeah, Miller's definitely a great player. Like I said, I think Alabama's got another prospect. They're loaded. They have DJ Fluker, offensive tackle. He's a great player. Him and Warmack are both on that line. They can both go in the top 10, so I'd have to go with him.
Yeah, there's one thing Alabama always has is those offensive linemen and those defensive studs, and D. Milliner certainly fits into that category. But let's look at the Cleveland Browns now with the 6th spot. Rajat, who are you taking there?
I'm going to have to go Ansah from BYU. He's a great player. He loves to fight.
Great first name as well.
Great first name, Ezekiel Ansah. He gets knocked down a lot, but he knows how to fight and get back up, and that's what's going to take it to the next level.
Yeah, I agree. Ansah is a great player, and the Browns could really use help in the front 7.
Well, the Browns could use a little help.
Everywhere.
More than just the front 7. I totally agree. A little bit of everywhere.
They do have Joe Hayden in the secondary, though.
That's true, but that's only one player in the secondary, and the Jets just dumped that player pretty easily. So now let's look at the number 7 pick, Arizona Cardinals. Who you got there?
I'm going to go with Chance Warmack, an offensive guard. Just somebody,
tackle.
yeah, just somebody to help shore up their offensive line with Carson Palmer right now. They may try to draft another quarterback later on to kind of groom him for once Carson Palmer's done.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. Chance Warmack's a great player. He's been the anchor of the last 2 national championships that Alabama has had, so I don't think you can go against Chance Warmack if he's still available at that spot.
And still no playmakers on the offensive side of the ball have been taken yet. The Bills dump Ryan Fitzpatrick finally, and they have the chance to maybe take Geno Smith. Do you think they do?
I don't think they do. I don't think Geno Smith's at that level. A lot of people have had their say on Geno Smith. Some people say he can go. I think you've got to go at Barkevious Mingo, an athlete from LSU. He can fly to the ball, and he can help them out immediately.
I do think the Bills are going to go with a quarterback. It could be Geno Smith, but I'm also hearing a lot of maybe Ryan Nassib, Doug Marrone, the new coach there, coached Nassib in college, so that could work well there.
Definitely one of the more interesting storylines is going to be those quarterbacks drafted in the first round. There are a lot of very iffy quarterbacks, so we'll see what happens there.
In the first round at all.
Oh, exactly. But now we're going to look at Gang Green, who was all of horrible last season. Who do they take in this starting of the rebuilding process, Connor?
The Jets are an absolute mess right now. They need help on pretty much everywhere. I think they need to start right now with another defensive player, possibly Rajon Warner. from Florida State to kind of just shore up that line. They drafted Quinton Cummings last year to just kind of start to rebuild.
Yeah, I would agree with you on the defensive side. I would stay there. I would go Alec Ogletree from Georgia. I think he's a great player. He can hold that defensive center position and help them out because they need help everywhere, like you said.
No, absolutely. And another team that needs some help, at least protecting Jake Locker, is the Tennessee Titans. Rajat, let's round out this draft. Who you got taken at number 10?
I think you said they needed help, but I think they need a playmaker. You need that playmaker. The first playmaker off the board, Cordell Patterson from Tennessee. He can make anything happen with the ball. Get him the ball, and he can get points for you.
I'm going to have to disagree. I think they have enough playmakers with Chris Johnson and Kenny Britt and Nate Washington. I think they go with...
You got to stay healthy, especially Kenny Britt.
If they stay healthy, they've got the playmakers. I think they need to go with Jonathan Cooper, another guard tackle like player to help with that line and protecting Jake Locker.
Absolutely. Well, guys, who needs Todd McShay and Mel Kiper when we got Rajat and Connor here? But unfortunately, that is all the time we have for this mock draft. But stay tuned for some more NFL draft, and this time, a look back in time.